In the spring of 1922, 6 people were brutally murdered on a small farm in Germany. The killer was never identified. No one was ever arrested. But what makes this case even more disturbing is that investigators believe the murderer may have remained inside the farmhouse for several days after the killings, cooking meals, feeding the animals, sleeping under the same roof as the bodies. This is the horrifying true story of the Hinterkaifeck murders. Hinterkaifeck was a remote farmstead located in southern Germany, surrounded by dense forest and farmland. The Gruber family lived there. The household included Andreas Gruber, the father, his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabrielle, Victoria's 2 children, 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph, and a newly hired maid named Maria Baumgartner. The family was known to be strange and isolated. Neighbors described Andreas Gruber as harsh, controlling, and abusive. There were rumors of dark secrets inside the home. Some villagers even believe Victoria's youngest child may have been fathered by her own father, Andreas. Although never proven, these rumors followed the family. Something about Hinterkaifeck already felt wrong. Several days before the killings, Andreas Gruber noticed unusual footprints in the snow. The footprints led from the forest toward the house. But there were no footprints leading away. Andreas also reported hearing footsteps in the attic at night. Tools began to go missing. A house key disappeared. Despite these terrifying signs, Andreas refused to contact police. He believed he could handle things himself. The family continued their daily routines. On March 31, 1922, the new maid Maria arrived at the farm. That same evening, something went terribly wrong. Sometime during the night, one family member was lured into the barn. There they were attacked with a mattock, a farming tool similar pickaxe. They were killed. Then another family member. One by one, Andreas, his wife, Victoria, and her daughter were murdered in the barn. Their bodies were stacked on top of each other. Inside the house, the killer went to the children's bedroom. Little Cecilia was murdered in her bed. The maid Maria was also killed in her room. 2-year-old Joseph was fed in his crib. All 6 victims were bludgeoned to death. There were no signs of forced entry, no sign of robbery. Money and valuables were left behind. Days passed. No one saw the family. Mail began piling up. The farm animals were heard making noise. Came concerned. On April 4th, neighbors went to check on the family. What they found was horrifying. Bodies in the barn, blood everywhere, children dead in their beds. Police were called. The entire community was shocked. During the investigation, police made a chilling realization. Someone had been feeding the animals after the murders. Food had been eaten in the kitchen. Smoke had come from the chimney. This suggested that the killer stayed inside the farmhouse for days after committing the murders. Living among the dead. Investigators were dealing with something far darker than a simple homicide. Police interviewed neighbors, former workers, and anyone who had contact with the family. Hundreds of suspects were questioned, but mistakes were made. The crime scene was contaminated. Villagers walked through the house. Evidence was disturbed. Important clues were lost. No fingerprints were preserved. No reliable forensic methods existed at the time. The murder weapon was later found on the property. Still, no suspect could be conclusively tied to the crime. Over the years, several theories emerged. One theory suggests a disgruntled former worker returned for revenge. Another theory points toward a neighbor who had disputes with Andreas Gruber. Some believe the murders were connected to incest, inheritance, or blackmail. Others believe a random drifter committed the crime. Despite many suspects, none were proven. No arrests were ever made. Why the case remains unsolved. Records were lost during World War II. Witnesses died. Evidence disappeared. Even modern DNA testing has failed to identify the killer. The farmhouse was eventually demolished. But the mystery remains. Chilling conclusion. Someone watched the family. Someone entered their home. Someone lived among their bodies. And then vanished. More than 100 years later, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the most disturbing unsolved crimes in history. The killer was never caught. The truth was never revealed. And the silence of Hinterkaifeck still echoes. What do you think about these unresolved murders? What theory goes through your mind? Do not forget to follow and subscribe for more unresolved murder happenings all around the world.